Why were they called the Dark Ages? Because of all the nights. Yep, all the nights. Hey folks, welcome to This Week in History. Let's let the wild rumpus start. On June 28th, we've got ourselves a
folks getting crowned lightning round.
In 1360, Muhammad VI became King of Grenada. In 1461, Edward IV is crowned King of England. In 1519, Charles V became Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and in 1838 was Queen Victoria's coronation as Queen of the United Kingdom. Also in 1846, Adolphe Sax was granted a patent for the saxophone, or saxophone if you prefer. On June 29th in 1613, the Globe Theatre in London burned down. It was originally built by Lord Chamberlain's men, a playing company that included some guy named Shakespeare, but don't worry, they rebuilt it. On June 30th in 1559, French King Henry II was mortally wounded in a jousting accident. His opponent's lance shattered and a piece went into Henry's eye. He would end up dying of sepsis on July 10th. By the way, he was jousting at an event to celebrate signing peace with Austria and his daughter's marriage to Spain's Philip II. On June 31st, well, that's not actually a day, so nothing. But it does give us a chance for this week's installment of Wow, so that's a thing that exists.
We are now privileged to witnessing demonstration of Japan's finest air raid siren.
Okie dokie, on July 1st. In 1520, La Noche Triste, I probably butchered that, or the Night of Sorrow, occurred as Spanish conquistadors under Hernan Cortez and their Tlaxcalan allies fought their way out of the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. Over 100 Spanish and as many as several thousand allies were killed, many falling into the lake and drowning as they were weighed down by gold. In 1898, Teddy Roosevelt led his famous Rough Riders, it's not as dirty as it sounds, charge up Kettle Hill during the Battle of San Juan Hill in the Spanish-American War. The Americans won the battle but suffered heavy casualties, leading to the U.S. Army updating their arms. July 2nd is halfway through the year. We're halfway through, folks. We're getting there. And also, in 1698, the first steam engine was patented by Thomas Savery to be used as a water pump. In 1921, the Knox-Porter Resolution was passed, ending America's involvement in World War I. Now, you might be wondering why this happened in 1921 when the war ended in 1918. It has to do with President Warren Harding being against joining the whole League of Nations, which, interestingly, his predecessor Woodrow Wilson had won a Nobel Peace Prize for spearheading the creation of. The United States never did end up joining. Ain't politics grand? On July 3rd, in 987, the French Capetian dynasty was founded as Hugh Capet was crowned King of the Franks. The dynasty lasted until 1792 during the French Revolution. Speaking of foundings, also on July 3rd, but in 1608, was the founding of Quebec. Here there's great fishing in Quebec by Samuel de Champlain. On July 4th, yep, it's American Independence Day, where we drink, frolic merrily, and set off explosives. It was on this day in 1776 that, well, we're not sure exactly what happened that day, but it's the date on the Declaration of Independence, even though independence was passed by a vote on July 2nd, and most believe it was signed on August 2nd, but still, happy birthday, America. In 1826, America's 50th birthday, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, the second and third presidents, and the only two men who signed the Declaration and became president, both died, though they were hundreds of miles apart. Don't want anybody thinking that they had anything to do with each other's deaths there. Adams' supposed last words were Thomas Jefferson survived, since the two had been bitter rivals and friends for years. Jefferson, by the way, had actually died several hours earlier, and Adams was just unaware. And in birthdays this week, we've got Welsh geographer and mountain namesake George Everest in 1790, English King Henry VIII in 1491, and of course yet again, America. And it looks like that's just about do it for this week. We'll see you here again next week. Same squirrel time, same squirrel channel. Don't forget, we're all in this together, you matter, and always keep your eyes on the prize.